Right Honourable Prime Minister, Your Excellency the Governor, wazazi, ndugu zangu, hamjambo. I know for sure that there are many parents who would have loved to be here. Many of these parents, Your Excellencies, are working hard in places to make it possible for their children and to write a beautiful future for their children's children. Many of the parents, Your Excellencies, are working in the go-downs in Shimanzi. Many of our parents here are driving along the streets, taking people from place to place. Many of the parents who should be here are working hard in homes that they hope that they and their children will one day come to own. I know for sure that they would have loved to be here. Nevertheless, I'd like you to know, my brothers and my sisters, my parents who are not here, that today, indeed, we are extremely grateful because hope has finally come to Mombasa. I'd like to say thank you to the countless efforts over the past 3 years that my department has been able to receive from none other than His Excellency the Governor. His Excellency the Governor has stood behind the champion of Elimu Kwanza. He's been our ambassador and made it possible to dignify the lives of thousands of children and bring dignity to thousands of homes. Today I'd like to pay special tribute to the Right Honourable Prime Minister, who himself has fought hard for the devolution that we are today enjoying. The Right Honourable Raila Odinga has tirelessly fought for the reforms that have made it possible for His Excellency the Governor and I to diligently deliver. I'd like to pay special tribute today to the heroes and the heroines, our mothers and our fathers, who have sacrificed so much to make it possible for us to stand here today. Our mothers and our fathers have worked hard, and I'm sure theirs is a story that today we tell, stories of promises and stories that will be remembered for generations. It is evident today, I'm sure, that His Excellency the Governor has his story to tell. 2 years ago, His Excellency and I visited his former school, Tomboya Primary, where he told me intimately stories of how he sat in a classroom, waited, looking forward to the school milk that would come. He told me stories of how he played in the playgrounds, stories of how he remembered the girls from Central Girls across the road. It was evident as we walked the corridors of those schools that His Excellency remembered his time in school fondly. I'm sure the Prime Minister himself has his stories to tell. As a student and as a graduate of engineering, he knows the importance of education. But more importantly, he stands here today as a father as well. As a father who has made his sacrifice and ensured that his children have got the best education that they need. Unfortunately, I will say this again, that there are some parents who may not necessarily have had the opportunity, and today breaks the mold for them. Today begins to give them hope. Today begins to give them an opportunity to ensure that they too can make their children and their children's children shine. And today it would be remiss for me to stand here in a moment that is like no other. In a moment where I stand as a son of this region, where I know very well, and just yesterday His Excellency and I received a report where many of the children who continue to come to the streets, come from the streets, come from the lanes, come from the hills of Kilifi, Kwale, to come to look for life in the streets of Mombasa. They do this not because they want to. They do this because they're in search of hope. And it saddens me as I stand here as a son of this region that this must come to an end. But this comes to an end not just with empty rhetoric, but with conversations and with deeds like today. It comes to an end when His Excellency the Governor is clear about one thing. Every year, year on year, we must ensure that we raise the standard of education, we raise the resources that are required for education by 55% annually. As a people, we've been talked down to. We've been called indolent people. We've been called lethargic zombies, waiting patiently on our white sandy beaches. For days, we've been accused of waiting for that proverbial coconut to fall. Today marks the end of that day. But today, more importantly, born Lewa Tendai Mtana, or Mtendaji as my friends would like to call me, to a Chonyi father from Kilifi and a Shona mother from Zimbabwe, my life here today represents the passion that I want for every single child in this county of Mombasa. My life is an embodiment of what is possible with these children if given a chance. My life is possible, and so is theirs. The tree of freedom and liberty for this great country has already been fought, not once, but twice. My grandfather came to this great town in 1958. He came here to search for work. He climbed the crooked mnazi tree. He climbed the straight one. He climbed the ones that he could find so that my father could go to school. It's important today that just like he climbed then, what saddens me but what encourages me at the same time is the parents who are here, 14,000 homes represented in this ground, have the same passion and vision for education. As I stand here today, undoubtedly I'm enjoying the fruits of his labor, the sweat of his brow, and the tears of his weary eyes. I'm an embodiment of his dream, a dream of educating his children to break a cycle of poverty for his grandchildren. Partly, Mabibi na Mabwana, Honourable Prime Minister, Your Excellency, the bursaries we're giving out here today, championed by the department, supported by the entire executive committee, are driven to meet squarely my grandfather's aspirations for his grandchildren and the children of Mombasa. I have been able to tell my story. Now it's time these children are able to tell their story. Dreams of decent education, dreams of homes that are clean and green, dreams that are capable of inspiring generations to come, dreams that are possible, because a great daughter of this nation said that even their dreams are valid. I know that the day has come and this dream will now come true. The dream of funding children's education. Never again shall we be squatters in our own land. Never again shall we be uneducated in our own land. And never again shall we live undignified lives. I thank you. God bless you. Elimu Kwanza.